Colorado for us tonight. I'll let you know when Denver could see a bit of
Yes.
Okay.
That's the time to just throw out the diet and go for it.
Yes.
Calories definitely don't count at the fair.
No,
I
that's
feel like
the
the fair
fair.
started on the perfect day when we finally had a cool down, Danielle.
Finally.
Seriously, much cooler air, still high pressure anchored to our south, but some wraparound moisture from the monsoon still impacting parts of Colorado. But you can see that cold front now starting to dig in a little closer down there toward Pueblo. Temperatures at 94 this afternoon, so still relatively warm, but we were in the upper 70s in Sterling, Greeley over to Fort Collins. Still hot out to the west at 99 in Grand Junction. And looking at the climate calendar, temperatures running below average. A nice change of pace, and we're going to stay there as we kind of wind down the month of August. 87, that's where we should be for this time of the year. 81, where we officially ended up out at DIA. Now this afternoon into this evening, I will be tracking a chance for a few stronger cells out there. Some potential severe storms up and down I-25 and off to the northeastern plains as well. Storms have been widespread across Colorado's high country. You can see all the lightning strikes out there, so it has been busy. Had some pretty good rumblers out there around Julesburg, Holyoke, and southwest toward Akron. Here in Denver, a couple of sprinkles. That really has been about it, but another crop of storms forming in the foothills, and those will start to push in a little closer down there toward Jefferson and Douglas counties as we head throughout the evening. Scattered storms will be likely until about midnight here in Denver, and then our temperatures will start to fall into the 50s and low 60s for eastern Colorado, 40s and low 50s up in the mountains. So here's the futurecast. 7 o'clock, you can see some pretty strong storms just to the south and to the east of the Mile High City. By about 11 o'clock or so, still a few lingering showers through the mountains, the foothills, parts of the Palmer Divide, and then everything clears by tomorrow morning, at least for the western slope. We will wake up to mostly cloudy skies here in Denver, maybe a couple of sprinkles early on. Brief break midday with some sunshine, and then by 5, 6 o'clock, we'll do it all over again with a few more thunderstorms cruising in. More of that typical timing between about 3 and 7 p.m. But all eyes ahead through the weekend and into next week through Tuesday. Look at that bullseye just to the south toward Colorado Springs. We could easily pick up several inches of rainfall coming our way. Of course, the cooler air will just continue to pull in, really impacting parts of the upper Midwest, but we will be on that western fringe of the cooler air, so enjoy it while it's here. Temperatures tomorrow will stay in the upper 70s for us with mostly cloudy skies with some scattered storms. Numbers staying in the 70s off to the plains, still in the 80s and 90s across the western slope. 60s in Allens Park over to Netherland and Winter Park too. Upper 70s with more rain on Sunday. This weekend, Colorado, I'll let you know. Hello, those Colorado ushering in the most delightfully cool air. Finally, after about 5 days in a row at 90 degrees or above, today we just made it into the lower 80s. High pressure still anchored to our south, but some of that moisture is still wrapping in around that ridge and pushing back in here to much of the metro area and across the high country too. Look at this. The 6 o'clock hour, we're in the 70s right now. Some 60s in Sterling, Akron, still hot. That cold front hasn't made it to you just yet in Lamar and Trinidad, but it is coming. Tonight, the satellite and radar composite showcasing some pretty nice rain showers across the far northeastern plains. On the south side of the metro area through the foothills, we're looking at some light rain, a rumble of thunder up through the foothills as well. So some good news all the way around. Storms will continue for us for the next couple of hours. Then we're talking 70s for the weekend. And looking ahead toward next week, some serious rain on the way. We'll chat more about it in about 10 minutes.
Thank you, Dan.
It's almost here, and wow, do we have a big switch up in the weather pattern. Thank goodness. Say farewell to the 90-degree heat and hello to the 70s and 80s, mostly cloudy skies, and a good round of rain expected pretty much each and every afternoon and into the evening. There is that cold front racing across Colorado, still en route to southern Colorado. As you guys had a hot day, still in the upper 90s around Lamar, Trinidad at 93. We touched 100 in Grand Junction, some 80s, low 90s out across the high country. But for us here in Denver, 81, all we could do, and certainly it is slightly below our average. We'll take it. This afternoon into this evening, I'll be keeping an eye to the sky, the potential for a couple of severe storms, especially to the south and to the east of the Denver metro area and off to the eastern side of the state. Looking at our satellite and radar composite, you can see just how widespread the thunderstorms have been throughout the afternoon, especially up through the high country. So we're loving the rain, not necessarily the lightning that is coming with it, though. And across the northeastern corner of Colorado, some some really heavy rain just pushing in toward Holyoke, around Yuma. All of that shifting off to the east, and then another round racing south of the foothills, south of Evergreen into Douglas County, Castle Rock, the Palmer Divide. Looking at some nice rain as well as up toward Breckenridge and Fairplay too. Tonight we'll have a good chance. We're seeing a few more thunderstorms here for the Denver area until about midnight or so. Temperatures will cool into the upper 50s, low 60s for most of us here in eastern Colorado. Some 40s, lower 50s up through the mountains. But here's the futurecast painting a pretty good picture of what we're expecting throughout the remainder of the evening. Again, strongest storms south and east of the metro, but they'll continue till about 11 midnight tonight and still going strong out there in parts of Park County. Now, early tomorrow morning, we're waking up to cloud cover here across the Front Range. A few lingering showers early in the morning, 7, 8 a.m. Kind of some good sleeping weather with some sunshine out to the west. But again, this doesn't last long because the cloud cover and another round of storms roll in about 4 or 5 p.m. Not only here to the city, but also south central Colorado, anticipating some heavier pockets of rain. By tomorrow evening, our skies will start to clear here in eastern Colorado. We are just sitting on the western fringe of this huge cool air mass that's dropping in across parts of the upper Midwest, moving into Nebraska and Kansas, and then the eastern side of Colorado is getting in on the action too, with these daytime highs only in the upper 70s for us tomorrow with mostly cloudy skies. Again, probably about 4 or 5 o'clock, we'll see a few of those storms popping up. Daytime highs sitting right around 79 here in Denver. Still pretty warm in the 80s and 90s out to the western slope, but if you're heading up to the foothills, some spots in the 60s. Looking at the extended forecast, even cooler with heavy rain likely for us on Monday. Monday is going to be here and a whole lot of it. We're just going from one extreme to the next. We have had just blistering heat in the mid to upper 90s around here, nothing but sunshine, and now finally the pattern has switched. Looking ahead to the next couple of days, we'll be tracking a good chance for some scattered storms both Saturday and Sunday afternoons. And then Monday is going to be the day that I anticipate seeing the heaviest rainfall here, not only in Denver, but much of eastern Colorado too. Some computer models indicating easily upwards of about 1.5 inches to 2 inches of water coming our way, and still more on the way on Tuesday. So far for the month of August, we're at 1.5 inches, right on the dot. Typically, we should be at 1.25 inches, and as far as the monthly average goes, a little more than 1.5 inches. So easily, I think we will double that looking at the forecast for the next about 7 days. I'll show you the futurecast through this evening because we still have a good shot for seeing some rain around the Denver area. This takes us to about 11 p.m. when the storms are still going strong up through the mountains, the foothills, and even across the Palmer Divide. Everything clears out pretty much after about midnight or so, but the cloud cover sticks around early tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., maybe even a few sprinkles close to the foothills with some patchy storms about 4 or 5 o'clock here for the Denver area, and then some stronger storms down there across far south central Colorado. So looking ahead pretty much day after day through about Tuesday, that bullseye for the heaviest amount of rain is just going to be to the south of the Denver area toward Colorado Springs. Wetter than average conditions, guys, likely for truly much of the west as we look at the next 10 days.
All right, we like the cool.
Friday night, we have mostly cloudy skies, some isolated showers passing by. The cooler weather is just beginning to push into Colorado. Over the weekend, we'll have a couple more cold fronts that race across eastern Colorado, helping to keep our temperatures in the upper 70s both Saturday and on Sunday. So here's that hour-by-hour forecast for you. We'll sit at 70 degrees around the lunch hour, then jump to the upper 70s by 3, 4 o'clock. Overall, mostly cloudy conditions, plus a couple of isolated thunderstorms popping up by about 4 or 5 p.m. Still low 80s in Lamar, La Junta, and Pueblo, but a really nice break from the 90s and the triple digits down there. Cold front not necessarily impacting our neighbors out to the western slope, so still going to be pretty warm out there. Monday is the day.
Amos.
Really? Yes, Nick, that's what we thought.
They look like they're
Especially
not
the
done.
one that sells car insurance. That
Okay,
one's my favorite.
he's pretty good.
Yes.
He's pretty good. They
He's
look
a
like
smarty.
they're not like fully baked yet or something.
But
You know
they're
what I
like
mean?
bouncing around.
I'm scared of them.
Fast.
They're cute.
So my
different.
apologies.
Where do you
to all
stand on
the-
ostriches? Because
Well, we'll do ostriches Monday. What do you
Okay.
say? We'll do one bird a day.
the ostrich
Thank you for
bird.
watching. Here's colorful Colorado.
Denver 7 photojournalist Adam Hilberry takes us to the 17th Street Gardens.